The Gernsback, and ladies and gentlemen, I am calling it done. And last thing that I did was I added a little bit of shrubbery to the already existing grass that I had there, and I used oregano leaves. But one thing about using herbs and all that, they have a tendency to dry out, and you have to seal them. You can seal them with Future, any kind of varnish, but one thing, they dry from the inside out, so they start looking dead after a long period of time. So what I've found out is if you seal it, I like to take it, and I done put it up. Anyway, take you some paint, thin it out, and make a little filter wash. I do like a little green and a little brown mix, and put on top of it. That way it'll have a green tint. Even if it does dry out, it will still look like vegetation. But anyway, got that done. Beautiful kit. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it because it's different. You don't have standard German camos and all that. A different subject. Very simple build. And I always say the simple builds are usually the more funner builds to tackle on. But anyway, painting, a little bit of weathering, and a little bit of groundwork, and it's just a nice desktop model. Which I'm going to probably go take that to the hobby store, little display case they have, and all the little Gundam models, modelers up there. I'll show them what I can do with a I call it a Gundam kit, but the Gernsback is just a very cool kit. Put the the plaque on it, and I'm going to give a plug here. I can't buy plaques here in town. They're just not really good business people. They don't like to do small orders. They like to do big orders, and I can go out of town and probably get it, but it's just easier if I do it this way. North Country Hobbies in Wisconsin. That's the place you need to go for your plaques. That's where I go. I tell them what I want and pay, and they send it out. And good, very good service. But anyway, the Gernsback, that was fun. I'd like to do another robot, but I'm leaning toward, if I do it, I'm leaning toward a actual Gundam, and actually make up a Gundam is what I want to do. That way, give me a little freedom to add stuff and take away and do a bunch of stuff like that. But anyway, that's where I am on Mr. Gernsback. Mr. Gernsback is done, and we're going to take him to we got model meeting night Tuesday nights, so I'll take him up, show him to the club, and then I will leave him at the hobby store, so he will be on the display case for a linked amount of time. But anyway, Gernsback is finished. So we're going to go on to the ball tank, and one thing I did do is I did paint the tread black, which we're going to go with tire black eventually when we get to it. But first things first, I had to paint the base color, and the base color is Russian dark base. So that was one thing about MIG. When you see MIG's paints, he's got the yellow caps. It's supposed to have the little stirring ball in there. Well, if you really hear it, it really don't have one. I mean, it does. It's got to be in there. It's got to be a small one too. However, I use a bigger style stainless steel ball bearing. That way, it really gets the paint in there, and it just overall helps it. And if there is a ball in there, I got two balls in there. So anyway, that's the way we roll around here. We like to have two of everything. But anyway, Russian dark base for the base coat, because we're going to do the modulation thing. And I only had two Russian colors, because I don't do a whole lot of Russian tanks or anything of that nature. So I went ahead and got the modulation set, the Russian Forbio, and we got the dark base on. I got to go one more color on there, because I just did it early this morning. And then we're going to start with the Russian base, and then we'll do the light base and then the highlights. Next video will probably be the Russian base. You'll see me do that. I don't know if I'll actually get to this stage yet, or this stage. If I do, it'll be the next weekend before I tackle that, because that's a a little precision airbrushing I'm going to have to do when I get to the light bases and everything. I may change my mind how dark and light I want in some places. But anyway, that is where I am on Mr. Ball Tank. So we're getting the dark base on, and hopefully we'll get a little more done. I got to do, and once I get pretty much painted, especially the modulation colors on here, and then I'll be able to attach it, and then I can do weathering and decals when it's on the base, and then I don't have to fight it or anything of that nature, because it is a ball and it keeps one a tendency to roll around. Helga, I finished most of her seams off, so I need to get her in primer, make damn sure I got everything, and then once I get the ball on the base, and I'll be able to fix her. But I was messing with her gun. I'm gonna have to, because you got to think about these things when you build dioramas and everything. Her gun is solid on the tips, so I got to go get Mr. Micro wherever I got pin drill bit somewhere, and I got to go and drill that out, because you know, people do look for things like that when they look at your models on a table. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is, if you look at the picture, she comes, she's a traffic controller, so she's got some flags. Now that would be cool too, to do a flag, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the gun on her, since she's already got the strap around her and it's already attached and it fits her back perfectly, so I'm going to leave that on. So what I'm going to do is, she's holding like the two handles to the flag. I probably will leave the flag off. I'm tempted to leave it on, but I can't decide if I really want to. I may just go get some like wrenches out of a artillery kit or something, and glue them on. That way it looks like she's got some tools, and she's just scoping around, you know, tightening up some bolts and everything on her little battle ball there. So anyway, that's what I have got going on today. We're going to try to work on Helga a little bit this week. We're starting the 4BO modulation paint on the ball tank, and we finished Mr. Gernsback. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.